Hi everyone, and welcome to another video of Linux for absolute beginners. My name is Tia from DevOps Easy Learning, and today we'll be going through env export and unset command in Linux. What is env command? Env command is just a command that we use in Linux to print all environments variables, right? Because in Linux or a bash script, we have a couple of variables. One is called user-defined variable. Those are variables that a user can define. Okay, you can define that in your shell script, or you can basically define that within the command line, and you can use it, right? Environment variables are variables that are used within the shell, and you can also define your own environment variable. And how can you define that environment variable? You can use the export command, and when you type export, you go ahead and set up a variable name, an environment variable name, and here you are going to put the environment variable value, right? And let's say you don't need it no more. How can you unset? Unset is like you want to remove it. You can use the command unset, and you have the env. Just put the env name, like same thing. You set it with env name equal value. When you want to unset, you just use the env name, right? It is like really simple. And also see, we have a couple of examples here. Let's say we say expose, for instance. Let's say we want to log in maybe into a database, and we're writing a script, and we don't want to put the password of that database within the script. What can we do? We can go ahead and set that as an environment variable, and within our script, we just go ahead and call that variable, right? As you guys can see here we are trying to export the DB password, which is equal to this, and here we're trying to export the DB username, which is equal to this, and here we can kind of use a $sign, right? How can you print an environment variable? We use a $sign, and here we can go ahead and put the environment variable name, right? To unset it, it is the same. We can go ahead here and say unset, put the environment variable name, and that's it. Let us go ahead here and kind of jump through the command line here and do some little hands-on. You should make sure that you have a Linux server already set up. I'm going to log in into one of our servers here, and this is server 4. If you hit enter here, it's prompting for my password, and I can go ahead and punch my password, and it will go ahead and log me in, and we'll start some hands-on. We are in already. If you type env, as you guys can see here, it basically printed all environment variable here. There are some that will come with Linux operating system by default, such as the users will basically print the current user, like print out the current user that is logging. Here is the current user home directory, the log name. That means I'm basically logging on this server as a user tier. My pwd here, this is just my home directory where I am. Pwd, the present working directory, it is in /home/tier, and this is the shell that I'm using. Let's say you want to kind of print that. If you just go ahead here and type echo, and you say $sign, and put any of this variable here, it will go ahead and print it, right? So you can see right now my shell is being bashed. Now, if I want to set my own environment variable, how can I achieve that? That is where you just have the env. We see the command will be export command. I mean, if you type export, and let's say I want to call that maybe db, for instance, underscore password. It's not mandatory that it should be uppercase, right? You can put it as lowercase. It is up to you. That is the variable. That is the environment variable name. What should be the value? Let's say the value here should be test 1 2 3 4 5, and this is the actual password, right? If you hit enter here and kind of clean my screen a little bit and type env, as you guys can see here, if we look carefully, that should be there, but it is right here. right? But when you're typing env, you can kind of use another command in Linux. When you type env, you say, hey, I want to go ahead and search if you have any value, call, for instance, password, DB password. If you hit enter, as you guys can see, it filter everything now, and it will not just go ahead and bring the entire output, right? And we call this one a grep in Linux, and we'll have a specific video to kind of, I'll go through a specific video on how to use a grep in Linux, right? We call this one regular expression print. And it can help you to filter data, right? If you have a lot of data, how can you go ahead and filter some specific information that you want? Let me just go ahead here and say export. I want to create another one. That will call this one maybe a DB underscore username. With DB underscore username, let's go ahead here and set the value here to be admin. It needs to be in quote, either single quote or double quote. That is fine. If you hit enter here and type env to print all environment variables, as you guys can see here, we have a DB password here. And if you don't really search what happened, you need to go in here and look it yourself, which is the DB username is right here. But the good idea is always to type the env. You say, okay, I'm on all this output. I'm looking for anything that have DB username. As you guys can see, I was able to bring that. And if you change that, also if you have, I want everything that can start with DB underscore, as you guys can see, I will be able to get DB username and DB password. Why? Because both basically start here with underscore, and I'm able to search everything. Now I have all those. If you want to print those out, I'll just use the echo, and go ahead here, and what am I going to echo? I will use a $sign. I want to print out the DB password. If you hit this, as you guys can see here, if you want to print the DB username, I can go ahead here and just put the environment variable name, and it's going to output the value. And let's say you don't want this no more, you can go ahead and unset, right? You use the unset command here to unset those. Unset, I'll go ahead here and put this, the DB password. And if you go ahead here and trying to check again by using the env and kind of pipe this one into grep, I want everything that will start with DB and underscore, DB underscore. As you guys can see, we have only the username be quiet because we removed the password already. And let me go ahead also unset the password with unset command. Unset, and I'll go ahead here and remove the DB password. And if you hit enter here, it's all gone. If you go ahead here and type the env and grab this, you can see that we don't have no more environment variable that start with DB underscore. That's it for this video, guys. If you like this video, please let me know in the comment below. And also, if you have not yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, please go ahead and do so that you'll be notified when we publish a new video. Thank you. Bye-bye.